So once again, I'm here. ये वीडियो एग्रीकल्चर चैप्टर पर बेस्ड है and especially the food crops. Okay. Now, I hope that you all are now ready with all your units which you are going to actually have in your board exams, right? Now, आपको जो भी यूनिट्स आपको ऑप्ट करने हैं वो तो आपने अच्छे से पढ़ लिए होंगे, बट इसके साथ साथ आपको ये अच्छे से मालूम है बच्चों कि इस बार जो पैटर्न है पेपर का, इसमें हमारे एमसीक्यूज भी आने वाले हैं, राइट? और अगर आप कोई यूनिट अगर ऑप्ट नहीं कर रहे हो तो भी आपको वो यूनिट पढ़ना पड़ेगा, so that you are going to score 100% marks in at least the MCQs part, right? क्योंकि वो MCQs portion जो है that is going to cover the entire syllabus, right? तो उस चीज को कवर अप करने के लिए आपको सारे चैप्टर्स रीड करने पड़ेंगे. And if you have read the chapter, that's very good, okay? Because from inside the chapters only, this time most of the MCQs are going to come, right? अगर आप बाय चांस नहीं पढ़ पाए हो या पढ़ लिया है तो भी आपके लिए एक अच्छा रिवीजन का ये चांस है. जब आप ये पेपर जब आप देखोगे, सारे क्वेश्चंस आप देखोगे, तो यू विल हैव अ क्विक रिवीजन ऑफ द एंटायर यूनिट ऑफ द एग्रीकल्चर पोर्शन एंड स्पेशली द फूड क्रॉप्स ऑफ दैट, राइट? ओके, कैश क्रॉप्स नहीं, इसमें सिर्फ हम फूड क्रॉप्स का डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो अगर आपने ऑप्ट किया है तो भी, और नहीं ऑप्ट किया है तो भी, अगर आप रीड नहीं कर पाए हो तो भी, आई एश्योर यू कि इसमें मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस आप कवर कर लोगे जो आपके एग्रीकल्चर यूनिट में है, ठीक है? सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद इट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एमसीक्यूज. First question: the state which is the largest producer of rice in India, which is the state? नदर्न प्लेन्स में से ये सारे स्टेट्स हैं जो राइस प्रोडक्शन में इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, राइट? बट तमिलनाडु, महाराष्ट्र भी इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट है. एंड आउट ऑफ ऑल दीज which are given here, the options, the West Bengal is leading producer of it, okay? Is number one at present. Characteristic feature which does not apply to the cultivation of rice: mechanization, plenty of sunshine, heavy rainfall in flooded fields, alluvial clay soil. Mechanization is not actually applicable in the cultivation of rice, because the main reason is that a lot of work in that is in the rice cultivation is done manually. Okay, so mechanization is something different from all these. Okay, next question: the most wasteful method of rice cultivation. Wasteful method. Okay, most useful and most wasteful. Try to understand. Most useful method is transplantation method, where the wastage of seeds is minimum. Okay, जहां पर प्रोडक्शन बहुत अच्छा होता है, वेस्टेज मिनिमम होता है, ठीक है? और इट इज मोर इकोनॉमिकल ऑल्सो, राइट? बट ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मेथड ऐसा होता है जिसमें आपको लाइक सीड्स, जो मैंने आपको पढ़ाते हुए बताया भी था कि जब हम सीड्स हाथ में हमने ले लिए एंड जस्ट वन पर्सन कैन हैंडल ऑल दैट, ओके, बाय स्प्रेडिंग द सीड्स इन द फील्ड, इट इज डन. सो दैट इज ब्रॉडकास्टिंग. ब्रॉडकास्टिंग में क्या होता है, कहीं पर सीड्स कम पड़ गए, कहीं पर ज्यादा पड़ गए, so that actually causes a lot of wastage of the seeds in that case. And production, in the same way, production also gets affected. Production is not good, okay, and generally wastage is too much. तो यहाँ पर wasteful method पूछा है आपसे, ठीक है? तो broadcasting method will be the correct answer for this. That's why I'm telling you, children, exam may make it a habit, not only in this subject, in any of the subjects, make it a habit that each and every question you read very very carefully. क्वेश्चन जब आप रीड करोगे तभी आप आते हुए भी, अगर आपने क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली नहीं पढ़ा तो आप आंसर प्रॉपर नहीं दे पाओगे, ठीक है? और क्वेश्चन अगर प्रॉपर्ली रीड करोगे तो यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर 100% मार्क्स. इफ यू नो इट, यू विल बी एबल टू डू गेट दैट. Okay, chalo, let's continue with it. Method of rice cultivation which requires a lot of manual labor. मैनुअल लेबर कौन से मेथड में ज्यादा रिक्वायर्ड होता है? ट्रांसप्लांटेशन मेथड, जिसमें आपको याद होगा हमने ये डिस्कस किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी। लाइक एक एक पहले नर्सरी मेंटेन करते हैं, नर्सरी से छोटे छोटे जो सीडलिंग्स होते हैं, सीडलिंग्स को वहां से निकाल करके और फिर से उनको ट्रांसप्लांट किया जाता है इन द फील्ड्स व्हिच आर एक्चुअली मेड रेडी फॉर दिस पर्पस। ओके, तो उसमें पूरा मैनुअल लेबर रिक्वायर्ड होता है, लार्ज नंबर पीपल आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दैट। तो it is transplantation is the correct answer for this. Next question is highest yield per hectare of rice is obtained from, per hectare production maximum कहां पर होता है? तमिलनाडु। per hectare production means within 1 hectare maximum production कितना होता है, right? Keeping that in mind, Tamil Nadu is the leading producer, but overall producer of West Bengal, the rice is West Bengal. Leading producer is West Bengal. Okay, this is the difference between the two. Now next, areas where rice is cultivated with the help of irrigation and have earned the distinction of being called the granary of India, right? Granary of India, this is actually an important question again. Basic जो main जो states हैं which are the leading producers, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, these are the states which are actually on the basis of irrigation they have reached to this level, and they have been called as the granary of India. Okay, next है बच्चों, dash isohyet line marks the boundary between wheat and rice growing areas. अब आप ये बताओ isohyet, first of all, what is isohyet? Just like isobar, isohyet, isotherm, आपने नाम सुना होगा, isobar तो आपने पढ़ा भी हुआ है। तो ये सारे लाइंस ऐसे इमेजिनरी लाइंस होते हैं which actually join the different places having that particular thing. Suppose we are talking of isotherm, all the places having same temperature will be joined by that imaginary line, that is called isotherm. Isohyet, Hyet, isohyet is actually again similar imaginary lines which are generally seen on the weather maps. Okay, these are drawn in such a way that they join all the places having same amount of rainfall. Okay, equal amount of rainfall. Suppose 50 centimeter isohyet हम बात कर रहे हैं, या 100 centimeters इसका correct answer होगा, right? 100 centimeters isohyet is actually the boundary between wheat cultivation and the rice cultivation. मतलब wheat से कम वाला area 100 centimeters rainfall से कम वाला area होगा, that will be important for wheat cultivation because wheat needs less rainfall. But if it is going beyond 100 centimeters, so that is good for rice cultivation. Okay, so isohyet is an imaginary line which joins all places having same amount of rainfall. Okay, next है, so the answer for this will be the 100 centimeters. Okay, next question, wheat is a rabi crop. Okay, rabi, kharif, zayad, three type of crop seasons are there in India, and on the basis of that only जो भी क्रॉप रबी सीजन में ग्रो करते हैं उसको रबी क्रॉप बोलते हैं, राइट? विंटर्स में जो भी क्रॉप्स हम मॉनसून सीजन में ग्रो करते हैं उनको खरीफ एग्रीकल्चरल सीजन बोलते हैं, और उसमें जो क्रॉप ग्रो करते हैं उसको हम बोलते हैं खरीफ क्रॉप। ठीक है, in between the rabi and kharif crops there is a period, short period in both the sides, that is actually used for growing some like seasonal vegetables and all, and such crops are called as zayad crops. Okay, now next is the main wheat growing area of India is, main wheat growing area of India, इसमें आपका करेक्ट ऑप्शन क्या होगा? Number 1 is black cotton soil areas of Madhya Pradesh, black cotton soil area of Deccan Plateau, flat, well-drained alluvial plains of North India, coastal plains of India. The answer will be flat, well-drained alluvial plains of North India, right? This will be the correct answer for this. Winter rains from the dash help in the early germination of wheat in northwest India. Winter rains क्या सोर्स है इन द नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न इंडिया? आप बोल सकते हो पंजाब, हरियाणा, वेस्टर्न यूपी, वहां पर जो मेन सोर्स है, सोर्स ऑफ रेनफॉल ड्यूरिंग विंटर सीजन, What is it? Which wind is causing that? It is western disturbances, or you can say the temperate cyclones. So this is actually the correct answer for this question. Okay. Next is dash is the largest producer of wheat in India. Which state is the largest producer? Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Next, dash is a measure of green revolution which caused an increase in the production of wheat in India. Now, what can be the answer for this? All of these options: supply of HYV seeds, or the other way we can say high yielding variety seeds. Number one. Number two, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides on large scale. Number three, excellent irrigation facilities by a network of canals and tube wells and all in that area. Okay, so it's better to take the fourth option, that is all of the above, right? Next, dash serves as excellent forage and grain concentrates in cattle feed. Pulses, right? Pulses is the best answer for this. Pulses are rotated with other crops because they fix the atmospheric nitrogen, restore soil fertility, they are leguminous. ये सारे ऑप्शंस करेक्ट हैं, तो आपको फोर्थ वाला ऑप्शन सबसे सही है, वो आपको मार्क करना है, ऑल ऑफ द अबव, right? Then pulses are the most widely cultivated crops in India because they are an important part of the diet of the Indian vegetarian population. They add to the fertility of the soil, both A and B. So the answer will be third, that is both A and B. Both are correct. So C will be the correct answer. Then correct answer, both A and B will be there. Next question है, dash accounts for nearly 37% of the total production of pulses in India. Right? Out of all these different pulses, which is the pulses which are actually covering 37% of the total production? That is gram. Okay. Seeds are sown in June and the crops are harvested in the month of November in the dash season. जून में सोइंग होता है और नवंबर में हार्वेस्टिंग होता है. That means we are covering what season? We are covering the southwest monsoon season or the rainy season. तो उस सीजन में अभी हमने डिस्कस किया था, उस सीजन में जो क्रॉप्स ग्रो करते हैं, that is actually which is that agricultural season, that is called kharif, and the crops which are grown in that season are called kharif crops. Okay, तो यहाँ पर आपको आंसर देना है खरीफ. Right? Now, next question, dash is the backbone of the Indian economy, agriculture, right? Dash is both a problem and a characteristic feature of Indian agriculture. Dependence on the monsoons. Second option is the correct one. Next, a green revolution has been most remarkable in the states of Green revolution has been most remarkable in the states of now northwestern states. आप लोगे Punjab, Haryana, Western UP. These are the states. So that is the option given over here, the fourth option. Okay, that will be correct. Next, in India, the average yield of crops is much lower as compared to other countries due to यहाँ पर सारे पॉइंट्स एप्लीकेबल हैं बच्चों. नंबर वन इज स्मॉल एंड फ्रैगमेंटेड लैंड होल्डिंग्स जो है वो उनका साइज बहुत छोटा है. नंबर टू, लैक ऑफ गुड क्वालिटी सीड्स, राइट? Proper use of manure, fertilizers, these are actually comparatively these are less used, okay, as compared to if you compare that with the other countries. Erratic rainfall, floods, droughts, because we are dependent to a great extent on the monsoons. Monsoons have got this nature only, right? They are totally erratic, they are you can say unreliable, and these are unpredictable also. So whenever monsoons come, we never know that whether it is going to cause floods in an area or it's going to just leave an area without rains or very less rainfall causing drought conditions. तो ये सारी conditions हैं बच्चों जो एक साथ एप्लीकेबल हैं इंडिया के केस में. तो आप यहाँ पर सही ऑप्शन यहाँ पर होगा ऑल ऑफ द अबव, राइट? नेक्स्ट है, which method of agriculture is the odd one out? Odd one out means shifting agriculture, plantation agriculture, extensive agriculture, and mixed farming. Mixed farming is the one. Then the predominant method of farming practiced in India is intensive farming. Intensive means by nature, the people of India, they just do this type of farming only, right? Intensive means within one piece of land, a lot of production is done, and side by side, some other activities also go on within that land area only. Okay, that is called intensive cultivation. Rearing of animals and cultivation of crops is practiced simultaneously in mixed farming. Okay. Then come to the next question. Next is dash is not a characteristic feature of plantation farming. Large estates, monoculture, these are the characteristics. But यहाँ पर क्या question है, which is not a characteristic. बड़े बड़े states होते हैं, बड़े बड़े land area choose किए जाते हैं, right? Once it is selected, over that the plantation is done. तो plantation farming का large state तो एक बहुत important feature है. Monoculture means single crop is grown all over. So that is again one important feature of it. Then multiple cropping. Multiple cropping is wrong. Okay, this is not actually the characteristic feature of it. And the fourth option is heavy capital outlay. Means it needs actually a lot of investment at once. So that is again a feature of plantation agriculture. So here the correct answer is going to be the third one, multiple cropping. Okay. ठीक है बच्चों, तो इतना इतना आपका ये एमसीक्यूज वाला पार्ट हो गया. Now come to very short questions. What is meant by term agriculture? It's an occupation of a man to manage his environment in order to produce food. It is defined as cultivation of soil in order to grow crops and rear livestock. That is agriculture. We are not only talking about farming. Try to understand. Agriculture includes both. Okay, cultivation of the soil, right? Growing the crops as well as rearing livestock. Number two, what is terraced farming? Terraced farming is prevalent in hilly areas. In this type of farming, terraces are made along the hill slopes to get level land for growing crops. Okay, this reduces the erosion also, soil erosion also. Then next question is, what is green revolution? Green revolution is a new strategy to increase agricultural production through modern techniques of farming. Next, which of the above mentioned agriculture is more common in India? Subsistence type of agriculture is more common in India. Till now, large number of people belong to, you can say, below average, or you can say they are poor, or they are not very well off. The farmers I'm talking of, right? तो ये especially ये group जो है, they always try to follow the subsistence type of agriculture where machineries are very less used, and fertilizers and all the inputs are very less used, right? And maximum work is done by the people of the members of their own family. Okay, तो ये सारी चीजें subsistence type of agriculture में आएंगे. It's not very advanced form of agriculture, right? Next, define the terms dry crops, fiber crops. Dry crops means drought crops बोलते हैं या coarse crops बोलते हैं. These are actually the millets. Okay, dry crops को के category में millets आते हैं. Drought resistant crops which can survive in regions with less rainfall and poor soil. Okay, is called dry crop या millets. Next, any crop yielding a fiber which is used for textiles is known as fiber crop, jute, cotton, etc. Right? तो ये आपका ये दोनों crops के definitions हो गए. Then what do you understand by the following terms? Threshing, monoculture. Threshing, monoculture, then और भी दूसरे terms हैं बच्चों. ये terms जरूर आप याद कर लेना क्योंकि ये terms जो हैं अलग से short notes में अक्सर आते हैं. तो थ्रेशिंग, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थ्रेश मतलब सारे टर्म्स, उनका मीनिंग और कौन से क्रॉप से रिलेटेड है ये भी आप जरूर प्रिपेयर कर लेना, राइट? अब थ्रेशिंग में रिमूविंग द ग्रेन फ्रॉम द स्टॉक, दैट इज थ्रेशिंग. मोनोकल्चर, कल्टीवेशन ऑफ अ सिंगल क्रॉप. ओके, ईयर आफ्टर ईयर कल्टीवेशन ऑफ अ सिंगल क्रॉप ऑल अराउंड द ईयर. ओके, नेक्स्ट, what do you understand by the term झूमिंग? It is a primitive method of subsistence agriculture in which a patch of forest is cleared. Okay, mainly root crops are grown. And when the fertility of soil is lost after 2 or 3 years, the cultivators move on to another patch. This way, large forests are destroyed. Especially, बच्चों ये method ऐसा है जिसकी वजह से जो हिली माउंटेनस एरियाज में जो फॉरेस्टेड लैंड था वो अब नाउ इट इज गेटिंग क्लियर्ड. Okay, and it's a big reason for soil erosion over those areas, because already we can take the example of northeastern hills of India. Northeastern hills में especially heavy rainfall होता है, ये हमें पता है, but it was not a big issue because earlier it was fully covered with forested area. Now recently it has been found that a large area is now cleared of the forest and all. It is because of this practice. Okay, because the tribal people mostly practice this type of thing, right? They don't know any of the modern methods, no modern, um, you can say, machineries and all. Nothing is used, no fertilizer, no input is used. They just spread the seeds, they just leave it like that only. By natural way, whenever the rainfall occurs, that provides water to it. Okay, so this is how the jhoming cultivation is done, right? And for 2 3 years it is done like that only, and after that slowly and slowly the production gets less. Okay, so the people then understand that yes, it is now getting less, so let's move to some other area, and that land is left like that only without any vegetation cover at all. तो ये एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम डेवलप हो रहा है धीरे धीरे, राइट. Next is, this is actually called zooming, this is called shifting agriculture, this is called slash and burn method. Okay, sub ek hi hai. Where is zooming practiced in India? It is practiced in India in backward forested areas of northeast and where the rainfall is abundant. Okay, now what are the disadvantages of zooming? Actually shifting agriculture आपके syllabus में नहीं है, तो इसलिए इससे related बस एक जरा सा आप एक reading मार सकते हो, but otherwise it's not that important. What do you understand by commercial crops? Crops grown with a view to earn revenue or income, either by exporting or sale within the country itself. तो इसके एग्जांपल्स आप दे सकते हो, शुगर केन, कॉटन, ऑयल सीड्स, टी, कॉफी, स्पाइसेस, ये सब जो है कमर्शियल क्रॉप्स में आएंगे. हाउ कैन कमर्शियल क्रॉप्स बी क्लासिफाइड? These can be classified as fiber crops. Fiber crops में आ जाएंगे like cotton, jute and all. Beverage crops में आ जाएंगे tea, coffee, etc. Then oil seed crops में आ जाएंगे groundnut, mustard, etc. Okay. Next is what does HYV stand for? HYV is actually HYV means high yielding variety seeds. Okay. Next is which cereal is regarded as the oldest cultivated cereal in the world? Yes, rice is regarded as the oldest cultivated cereal in the world. Next, what are the two methods of cultivation of rice? Which one is known for its better yield? Drilling, dibbling, broadcasting, transplantation, all these are the different methods of cultivation of rice. Transplantation is known for its higher yield. Okay, higher production we are getting till now by the method of transplantation. Okay, next, which is the second largest rice producing country in the world? India is the second largest rice producing country in the world, right? Which is the ideal soil for the growth of rice? Alluvial, tribal loamy with clay-like impervious subsoil. Next is what you understand by broadcasting method of sowing. Broadcasting is the scattering of seeds in the fields. Okay, inferior variety of rice is grown in this way, and its yield per hectare is very low. Okay, it's very cheap method also because one person handles all that, right? Then what is dibbling method of sowing? In the method of dibbling, seeds are dropped manually at regular intervals in the furrows made by the plow. Okay. Then what is drilling method of cultivation? In the drilling method, the seeds are dropped in furrows through a bamboo shaft attached to the plow. Why does the method of transplantation give better yields? Which one is known for better yields? The method of transplantation of rice seedlings manually by hand from the nurseries to the main field gives higher yields as it facilitates weeding and there is less wastage of seeds. Okay, these are the advantages of it. This is an important question for you. Next, which method of cultivation in India is being popularized to increase the productivity of rice? The Japanese method of rice cultivation, in which HYV seeds are sown, right, in raised nurseries, just like transplantation method. It is being popularized in India in order to increase the productivity of rice. Okay. Then come to next. Next is mention the two categories in which the rice crops in India can be grouped. The categories into which the rice crops can be grouped are the lowland and upland rice. ओके अपलैंड राइस वो होता है जो आपको हिली माउंटेनस एरियाज के स्लोप्स पर आपको दिखेगा राइस जो कल्टीवेशन होता है ये अपलैंड राइस का लोलैंड राइस का कल्टीवेशन हमेशा आपको मिलेगा लाइक इन फ्लैट सरफेस एरियाज और द प्लेन्स वेयर द कल्टीवेशन ऑफ राइस इज बीइंग डन ओके तो ये अपलैंड और लोलैंड राइस कल्टीवेशन है इससे रिलेटेड दो दो पॉइंट्स आपको प्रिपेयर करने चाहिए बोर्ड्स के लिए ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज द लार्जेस्ट राइस ग्रोइंग स्टेट West Bengal is the largest rice growing state, producing about 15% of the total rice in India. Okay. Next question, why is India not able to export rice? India is not able to export rice because there is a large domestic demand. Therefore, there is little surplus left for export. Because already in our country, population is quite big, right? So to feed this huge population, it's actually the total production is just consumed by the people only. So a little bit which is left, but that is not much to be sold out in the international market to export, right? Now, which type of soils are suitable for wheat cultivation? For wheat cultivation, soil must be clay, loamy, or black soil, well drained, textured, with a small lime content, and flat, level land. Okay. Next, mention some varieties of wheat. Some varieties of wheat are Raj 3077, then WH66, then Mangala. These are the different varieties of wheat. Is wheat a Rabi or Kharif crop? In which state of India is the largest amount of wheat grown? Wheat is a Rabi crop, number one. Number two, Uttar Pradesh produces the largest amount of wheat, about 31% of the total production of wheat. Next, what is the average yield of wheat per hectare in India? The average yield of wheat the average yield of wheat per hectare in India is 2,250 kg. Okay. Next is why is hybrid seed? Yes, why is hybrid seed is actually grown in just a minute. Give me 1 minute, children. Why is India not able to export rice? This we have done. Then is wheat a Rabi or Kharif crop? This we have done. Then why? What is hybrid? What is rust? Okay, what is hybrid? First of all, this is an important question. Crossing of two varieties of seeds of the same family to give a new seed, which is going to be a better seed. Okay, which is going to give a better production. That is called hybrid. Okay, and next is what is rust? A fungus called rust affects the wheat crop in India. That you should remember, right? Generally, the question may come in the form of MCQ. Rust is fungus, this, that, the different options will be given. So a fungus which affects the wheat crops in India, wheat crop in India, right? Next, name an area of wheat cultivation in India and state why it is suitable for the cultivation of wheat. दो reasons बताइए. Uttar Pradesh is the state, okay, where wheat cultivation is done on large scale, right? Then it is suitable for wheat cultivation because low winter temperature is there, extensive irrigation facilities are there, and winter rainfall is there. Okay. Next, where are the pulses grown in India? The pulses are grown mainly in the following states of India, especially the northern belt. right? Northern belt or the central India. That is the main area for the production of various pulses. Now let's see UP, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, then Karnataka. These are the states that actually, these are the states that are important for pulses cultivation. Okay. Next question here, why is arhar called a dry crop? In which states is it produced? Okay. Now, arhar is actually um, a crop which is a type of, you can say, the pulses only, right? And these arhar is called a dry crop because it is seldom irrigated. It needs very less irrigation. In the production of arhar, we need very less irrigation. Okay. So arhar is produced in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh especially. Okay. UP, Karnataka. So these are the states for production of arhar. Next is, why is agriculture called the backbone of India's economic system? This is an important question for you. Okay. Agriculture can be called the backbone of India's economic system because two-thirds of Indian population is engaged in the cultivation of land. Okay. First point. Number two, agriculture not only helps to feed the large population, but it also supports the principal manufacturing industries with their raw materials, right? Then it also provides substantial portion of countries' exports, thereby earning valuable foreign exchange. Okay. Then many people are involved in some or the other activities related to agriculture. These are the important points for this. Okay. And one suggestion, children, अगर manage हो सके, अगर आप कर सको, so it is always good to write your answer in points. Okay. And please give to the point answer, right? Whatever is asked, only that much. Because if you start writing all the details, right, in one question, suppose you are writing too much just in 1 mark question, so that will ultimately affect what? Because you are getting a limited time for your paper. ओके okay? तो आपको ये बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देना है टाइम मैनेजमेंट वाली चीज. अगर आपने टाइम मैनेजमेंट में प्रॉपरली वर्क नहीं किया तो लास्ट में ये भी हो सकता है कि कुछ क्वेश्चंस आप बहुत ज्यादा हड़बड़ी में करो या रिवीजन के लिए आपके पास टाइम ना रहे. तो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज सजेस्टेड कि एकदम टू द पॉइंट आंसर दो, बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं, राइट? एंड ट्राई टू मैनेज द टाइम प्रॉपरली. Okay. In the next video, I will tell you about the time management also, how to divide your time in the different categories, like for MCQ, for map and all. Okay, let's first complete this. Now, mention some factors related to importance of agriculture. Importance of agriculture now. Importance में क्या आ जाएगा? Agriculture is the primary occupation of the people. Number two, it supports the principal manufacturing industries. Number three, several agricultural products are important items of our export trade, right? Then agriculture is the major source of national income, employment for the people, right? Next question, what are the main characteristics of Indian agriculture? Give any three. Again, the same, okay, almost the same. Mention some problems of Indian agriculture. This is again important. Mention some problems. Some problems of Indian agriculture are uncertainty of rainfall because we are dependent on monsoons on large scale, right? Then next is small uneconomic size of holdings. Land holdings are quite small till now, right? Then next is illiteracy and ignorance of the farmers, right? The group of people who are involved in these activities. Then next, outdated implements. In most of the cases, you'll find the tools or the various machineries or implements are quite old and outdated ones, right? In certain cases. So we cannot expect a very good production by all these problems which are faced by Indian agriculture or the farmers of India. Okay. Then outdated, yeah, old implements के साथ में inadequate irrigation facilities also. Soil erosion. Soil erosion is covering a large area now. Then poor quality of seeds, lack of scientific approach, all these are the points which are actually the problems of Indian agriculture. Next, how do the monsoons affect cultivation in India? Agriculture in India depends on monsoon rains. Okay. So it can sometimes bring very heavy rains and cause floods, and sometimes dry spells can lead to drought conditions. So that's why monsoons are totally unpredictable source of water. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we need to have some irrigation facilities which are developed in different parts of India where the agriculture is done, right? Okay, now next question, what solutions are offered against irregular monsoon as far as farming is concerned? Floods and droughts are controlled by making multi-purpose river valley projects. Okay, then wells, tanks, canals provide irrigation water in dry areas, right? So these are the steps we can take. Then mention some important types of farming which are practiced in India. Now, some farming techniques or the methods of farming are: number one, intensive farming, then extensive farming, then humid farming, irrigated farming, then dry farming, shifting or migratory farming, subsistence farming, then commercial farming, plantation agriculture, then mixed farming, terraced farming. All these are the different types of farming which are actually practiced in um, India, right? Now come to next, what is mixed farming? Mixed farming क्या होता है? Mixed farming, again, this is an important question for you all. Mixed farming is some important types of farming in India. If you will see, out of all the different methods, most of the other methods, most or all the other methods are related to growing of crops. But when we talk about mixed farming is that in which the farmer combines with farming some other subsidiary occupation, like cattle rearing, fruit vegetable growing, or poultry farming, okay, or pisciculture. So these are the extra activity which they do during that time. So in mixed farming, there is a special scheme of crops, right? The farmer has additional source of income. Mixed farming से related ये question आ सकता है बच्चों. What are the advantages of it? इसमें एक बहुत important चीज ये है कि it provides a constant source of income to the farmer and earns more. The farmers are able to earn more, right? Then farm waste is fed to the animals, and animal waste provides organic manure to the soil. Both ways, these are fulfilling the requirement. Okay. Next, I mention any two important features of Green Revolution. Green Revolution was introduced in Punjab, Haryana, and all. Now, two important features of Green Revolution are introduction of new and high-yielding variety of improved seeds. Number two, increased, you can say, application of recommended doses of fertilizers, right? A lot of irrigation facilities were developed. Next, describe any two main features of subsistence agriculture. Subsistence agriculture में आप देखोगे farmer produces exclusively for his own consumption. Suppose एक farmer है, वो अपने family के साथ में वो लोग सब मिल करके, like leaving the small kids and the old people, most of the other family members, they just do the work in farming, whatever is required in the field. Okay, and they just grow the crop within that, and whatever production they are getting, or if they are in loss, they are only going to face all that. Okay, so that is the subsistence farming. And subsistence में बहुत ही old outdated tools आपको मिलेंगे, like ये लोग ये जो बहुत poor farmers जो होते हैं, they are not able to use any fertilizer, very costly fertilizers from the market, or they are not able to use any machineries in the field, so they simply just do the work manually. Okay, and moreover, whatever is produced, that is just meant for their own consumption. So that is why their condition is does not improve in this way. Okay, next है the farms are small and only the farmer's family works on it to cultivate food crops. Basically food crops ही grow किए जाते हैं for their own consumption purpose. Okay, next है what is meant by plantation crops. Plantation crops are grown on large farms which are actually modern, scientific and self-contained units. Only one crop is grown on a large scale, right? That's why it is called monoculture. Then enormous capital investment is required to set up a plantation and a large number of laborers are employed. Okay, these farms provide factories for processing of crops and all. Within that unit only, you will find all the processing units are also there, right? Tea, coffee, rubber, sugar cane, these are the main crops which are actually used for the plantation agriculture, right? Next, I mentioned two categories of agricultural products of the country. Main agricultural products हैं food grain crops में rice, wheat, barley, maize, millets, pulses. Commercial crops में आ जाएगा cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco, oil seeds, tea, coffee, rubber, right? All these are coming under this. Then next is what is crop rotation, growing of different crops. Again, this is an important topic. Okay, growing of different crops on the same field after the harvest of the previous crop is known as crop rotation. It is generally done to preserve the minerals in the soil. Okay, leguminous plants like pea, beans are generally planted after a crop like wheat to add nitrogen to the soil exhausted by wheat. Okay, so because they have the nodules within their roots and all, so that this is how the process is there, and by that the nitrogen fixing bacteria, they actually give back the nitrogen to the soil. Okay, now come to next. Next question is, when is upland rice sown? Upland rice is sown without irrigation in the months of March, April. The crop becomes mature within 6 months and the harvesting takes place in September, October. The variety of rice totally depends on natural rains and is usually grown at the higher elevations. I told you in the earlier part, upland rice is always grown at higher elevations. Okay, the production of crop is confined totally for the local consumption, right? Upland rice is meant for local consumption, but lowland rice is basically meant for both, for their own consumption, and the extra is sold out in the market. Okay, then यहाँ पर दो क्वेश्चंस आपको और मैं बता दूं. What are the climatic conditions necessary for the cultivation of rice? Rice needs a warm or humid climate. Areas having average temperatures of 22 to 32 degrees centigrade are suitable. Then during the growing season, temperature must be more than 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, the areas having heavy rainfall ranging from 150 to 300 centimeters are more suitable for its growth, right? Then what are the main features of Japanese method of rice cultivation? This is again important. This is actually you can say an advanced form of transplantation method. ठीक है, ट्रांसप्लांटेशन मेथड अगर आपको याद है तो आप वही चीजें इसमें लिख सकते हो, बट एक चीज इसमें आप जरूर ऐड कर देना. HYV सीड्स जो हम यूज करते हैं इन जनरल द इन द एग्रीकल्चर, हियर ट्रांसप्लांटेशन मेथड में HYV सीड्स जनरली नहीं यूज करते हैं फार्मर्स, बट जापानीज मेथड में दे आर यूजिंग the HYV seeds on large scale and its name is japonica. Okay, this is something important you should mention when the question comes. Okay, main features of Japanese method of rice cultivation are: number one, use of better quality seeds, that is HYV seeds. Number two, sowing of seeds in raised nursery beds. Nursery beds में पहले इसको sow कर दिया. Then transplanting of seedlings in rows. Then वो थोड़े बड़े जब हो गए seedlings तो उनको वहां से निकाल करके and then it is again transplanted in the actual field, right? For example, while preparing seed beds before transplantation in the actual fields and just before flowering of the rice plants. Next, irrigation is done regularly to ensure regular supply of water during the period of growth. Okay, so this is about the Japanese method. Upland rice, lowland rice. Name the state where rice is grown almost exclusively as a cash crop. What makes rice the staple food crop of India? Staple food किसको बोलते हैं? Staple food is that which forms an important part of our daily meals, right? That is called staple food. तो यहाँ पर आपको क्वेश्चन क्या मिला है? Name the state where rice is grown almost exclusively as a cash crop. अब कौन से स्टेट में राइस को कैश क्रॉप के फॉर्म में ग्रो किया जाता है? इन पंजाब द फार्मर्स कल्टिवेट राइस एज अ कैश और कमर्शियल क्रॉप. Okay, they actually grow this crop mainly for the for selling out in the market, right? Not for their own consumption. Clear? And rice is grown in almost all states of India except Gujarat and Rajasthan. Okay, because there the water is extremely, you can say rainfall is very scarce. Next, rice can feed more people compared to same amount of any other food grains. Okay, then next, give two advantages of growing rice in um, क्या एडवांटेजेस हो सकते हैं अगर हम राइस को पहले नर्सरीज में ग्रो करें एंड देन वी आर ग्रोइंग दैट अगेन इन द फील्ड्स? आपको क्या लगता है कौन से पॉइंट्स आप इसमें लिख सकते हो? It increases the yield by 45%. You know, how does it increase? Because when once the nursery is developed, from there just the healthy plants, healthy seedlings are taken out. Okay, and again that is transplanted again in the already the field which is made ready for that purpose. तो यहीं पर ही हम क्या करते हैं, नर्सरी में ही उन पौधों को, उन सीडलिंग्स को वहीं छोड़ देते हैं which we feel that they are not going to exist, right? They are not going to survive, and which are not healthy, right? That's why the production is always maintained. Production doesn't get affected. Clear? Next, what geographical conditions are necessary for the growth of wheat? Name an area of wheat cultivation in India and state why it is suitable for the cultivation of wheat. Explain why wheat is grown as a rabi crop. Uttar Pradesh grows wheat in areas where the normal temperature is between 10 to 15 degrees centigrade, right? And the average rainfall ranges from 50 to 100 centimeters. Winter rain in western UP helps in the early germination of wheat. तो ये दो तीन points अगर आप ध्यान में रखोगे, तो you will be able to answer. Alluvial soil and level land is suitable for wheat cultivation, which is already there in the northern plains, right? Warm and sunny weather are essential at the type of ripening. So again, that is important, right? March is the period when it is harvested. Then next, what are the factors responsible for high productivity of wheat in the northwestern parts of India? Northwestern parts of India, how does it affect, right? Um, Low winter temperature. Okay. Next is 80 centimeters of rainfall. Then winter rainfall due to the western disturbances. Okay, so these are the questions which are related to that, right? Do you think that the cultivation of pulses is lagging behind in recent times? Give two reasons to justify your answer. Production of pulses is lagging behind because the gap between demand and supply is too much, and it is fulfilled by importing pulses, right? And the pulses are considered merely the rotation crops, not the main crops. In the context of Indian agriculture, answer the following. Mention the features which reflect a shift from subsistence farming to commercial farming, right? Then come to next question. State two characteristics of plantation agriculture. How has the consolidation of land holdings helped the farming community? इसमें आप आंसर देखिए, इंडिया became the first producer and exporter of tea and rubber. Both the crops are grown for commercial purposes. Next, Indian agriculturists are now raise as many crops as possible during the year with the aid of artificial irrigation, fertilizers, improved seeds, hybrid varieties, and improved implements. Okay. Next is yield of Indian agriculture is low as compared to world standards because total yield is very low, right? So what is the reason for that? Dependence on rainfall. And what type of rainfall? It's totally unpredictable rainfall, that is monsoon winds. Okay. Then next is the less developed irrigation facilities, right? Use of poor quality seeds and lack of scientific approach. Okay, two characteristics of plantation agriculture are plantation crops are grown on large farms, which are modern, scientific, and self-contained units. Then only one crop is grown on a large scale, right? Then consolidation provides a bigger sized compact area for cultivation to the individual farmers, and the cooperative farming makes use of this bigger area for cultivation. Under this method, several farmers, while retaining their ownership of land and managing it individually, adopt the principle of cooperation for non-farm operations. Right? Then come to next, how has poverty and fragmentation of land become the problems of agriculture in India? Then चलो अब उन इन क्वेश्चंस के बाद में next, yeah, this is very important part, geographical reasons for the following. Why is agriculture the most important occupation in India? दो reasons इसके दीजिए आप. Tropical climate provides long growing season in most parts of country except Himalayan region. ठीक है, तो एक तो ये reason हो गया. Second reason है vast stretches of arable land found in the alluvial lowlands of northern plains. Okay. Then next is, why is the development of agriculture essential? Development of agriculture is essential for the following reasons: self-sufficiency in food and raw materials for industries, right? For economy. Then question 3, why are commercial crops also known as industrial crops? Then why is rice predominantly an Asian crop? Because in Asia, you'll find, in Southeast Asia, you can say, rice is the staple food of more than half the population of the world. It is predominantly an Asian crop because more than 90% of the rice is produced only in one continent, that is Asia, right? That's why it is many times called as an Asian crop. Okay. Next is, why does the cultivation of rice need plenty of cheap labor? Cultivation of rice needs plenty of cheap labor as most of the work in the rice fields is done by hand. Okay, it's done manually. Next, why does India's export of wheat fluctuate from year to year? India's export of wheat fluctuates from year to year because India can only export wheat when its production is in surplus. Okay. Next question. Um, distinguish between afforestation and deforestation. Afforestation, sorry, the scheme of plantation of new forest is called afforestation. On the other side, it means the deforestation means destruction of forest because of overgrazing, forest fire, etc. Next, afforestation means this protects soil from eroding. Deforestation means this causes soil erosion. Okay. Next question, shifting agriculture and plantation agriculture. इसको हम छोड़ देते हैं. Then आपको next लेना है distinguish में intensive and extensive farming. This is an important one for you. Intensive में small plots of land are cultivated scientifically with a large yield per hectare. Or extensive में large farms are cultivated traditionally with low yield per hectare, right? So especially single crop is grown, right? तो ये अलग अलग मेथड्स हैं कल्टीवेशन के. then humid farming, irrigated farming. ओके, अलग अलग मेथड्स के फार्मिंग टेक्निक्स हैं. अच्छा, सब्सिस्टेंस एग्रीकल्चर एंड कमर्शियल एग्रीकल्चर. सब्सिस्टेंस में आप देखोगे मैनुअल लेबर ओरिएंटेड सिस्टम to get enough production to satisfy the needs of the farmer and his family. Okay, commercial agriculture mein it's capital oriented system meant for export. So machines are used to get higher yields. Fields are very big, so it is done on large scale, right? Then it is basically practiced in Canada, USA, etc. Okay. Then intensive, extensive commercial farming. Geographical conditions of cultivation of rice and wheat. Now come to name the following. Name the two important. This may also come as an MCQ, right? In the exam. Name the two important crop seasons in India. Two important crop seasons are, the main crop seasons are Rabi and Kharif. Okay. Then name the crops which are cultivated by transplanting method of cultivation: rice, jute, rubber. Name the states in which rice is grown. Main rice producing states are Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Bihar, Punjab, Orissa, Andhra, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Assam, and Maharashtra. Then name the three crops that are grown in West Bengal in an year, right? The three crops grown in a year in West Bengal are, again, this is important, right? This is an important question, children. So please be careful. Just keep this in mind. Three crops grown in a year in West Bengal, in 1 year only. Three crops are harvested. These are Os, Aman, and Boro. Os, AUS, Os, Aman, and Boro. These are the crops which are harvested in West Bengal, right? These are grown in West Bengal. Then next, name the high yielding varieties of wheat being produced in India. High yielding varieties of wheat being produced in India are Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, right? Then come to next, name the wheat producing states of India. Wheat producing states में आ जाएंगे उत्तर प्रदेश, पंजाब, हरियाणा, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश. Then next question is name the wheat producing states of India. Done. Then name the important states where gram is grown. Gram is mainly grown in Bihar, Maharashtra, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan. Especially you will find the gram or any other pulses if you will try to see. All these are grown in the entire northern plains of India, right? Especially central and western plains of India. Okay, then name the important pulses grown in India. Important pulses में आ जाएंगे अरहर, मसूर, gram, tur, or pea, etc. Right? Then name a pulse crop cultivated in India during Kharif season and during Rabi season. During Kharif season, urad and moong pulse crop is cultivated during Kharif season, right? Then gram and pea pulse crop is cultivated during the Rabi season. Okay, then name a pulse which is grown as Rabi and Kharif crop both. So arhar is actually a crop which is grown in both seasons. Okay. So it was a long session, but yes, this is completely covering the chapter or the unit of the agriculture, right? Especially the food crops, right? अब ये वीडियो बच्चों आपको एक बार तब देखना है जब आप पूरी तरह प्रिपेयर हो गए हो बोर्ड्स के लिए. Now, when you will do the revision at that time, once you go through it, okay, and then you will find that most of the things have again been brushed up in your mind, okay, and that will 100% it's going to help you out in the exams. Okay, so don't forget to share the link of this video and subscribe the channel, right? See you soon in the next video again on some other units, okay, based on MCQs only. So till then, bye.